What are the three main characteristics of synovial joints? Hi, I'm Hayley from Parallel Coaching, and in today's video we're going to understand all around synovial joints, and we're going to understand the features and functions of those, in particular three main characteristics. So before we go any further, just to let you know, there are three mock questions to help you check your knowledge on today's content. All you need to do is click the link that is with this video, and that will take you to our blog. Then scroll down to the bottom of the blog and you'll find the three mock questions there. Now, you need to understand this as part of your level 2 anatomy and physiology exam. And then that's a given understanding that you need to know it as part of your level 3 moving forwards. But as part of level 2 anatomy, you know 8 different modules of content. One of those is the skeletal system, which includes bones and joints. And then within the joints section of that, you need to know 3 different types of joints, which include synovial, we're talking about today, cartilaginous, which is partially movable, and then fixed or fused joints, which are immovable. So you've got these 3 different types. Now within synovial joints, there's also then 7 different types of synovial joints, like ball and socket or gliding joints or pivot joints. So there's all these different types of joints that you need to be aware of. But today we're just going to focus on synovial joints and the purpose of those in the body, and also the 3 main characteristics. So let's just have a little look overall at synovial joints to start off with. They are the most common ones in the body. So when you think about a joint that allows movement, chances are you're thinking of a synovial joint. All the little bones in your hand, all of your elbow joints, your shoulder joints, the joints around your hips, your knees, your ankles, all these are synovial joints. And they are freely movable in that they allow for movement to happen. And then with the action of muscles, we can then create action. So that's the main purpose of our synovial joints and why they have such distinct features. But take an image of this synovial joint and we're going to now understand 3 main characteristics. The first is quite an obvious one, and that is the synovial fluid. This synovial fluid is there to articulate movement. And this basically housed inside the joint capsule itself. So you've got the joint capsule, and inside that you've got this synovial fluid. Now imagine this fluid like oil in a machine. You're going to use this to basically lubricate and allow movement to happen. Now this synovial fluid is sitting inside this capsule. And then as we start to move and as we generate action in that joint, it will start to warm up. This also warms up with temperature as well. And as it starts to warm up, it allows for this joint action to happen freely. And this is a really key part because actually by being lubricated, it allows movement to happen with less pain, less restriction, and allow more range of movement as well. Key part of that is to make sure that we're warming up our clients effectively when we're training them as FITPROS. So inside our warm-up, we'd make sure we do mobilizing exercises that are going to gradually mobilize and warm up the joint without shocking it too much, but also raising the temperature of our clients by doing some pulse raising activities so that they're really starting to generate some heat in those joints. And this is a really important part of understanding the joint anatomy and applying it to you as a FitPro and what you're doing. So that first one is understanding about the synovial fluid and how it sits inside that joint capsule. Number 2 is the articular cartilage. Now the articular cartilage covers both bones. So now the idea of a synovial joint or any joint is where at least 2 bones join. So it's the joint is the point whereby they join. So you've got these 2 bones and they're facing each other. And in order for them to move, we've got the synovial fluid in between, but we also have this nice texture or covering across the ends of the bones. And that's our articular cartilage. This articular cartilage basically makes it smooth, and it means that we're not rubbing bone on bone, but actually it's like a silky smooth coating so they'll just move over each other gently. One thing that happens over time and also is exacerbated with poor posture or poor joint alignment is that the wearing down of this articular cartilage. So if you imagine you've got your joint here, in doing that with the joint and it's moving, if it's slightly offbeat, it's not going to lubricate and move in the right direction. Instead, it starts to rub bone on bone. That articular cartilage starts to disintegrate or starts to wear down. And that's commonly known as osteoarthritis. So that then causes pain, it exacerbates the joint sort of range of movements that we're seeing and the different compensations that we're starting to see in our client's posture. And it can also mean that it causes a lot of pain around that area and deformity. So what we're looking at here is understanding that this silky smooth cartilage is here to allow for that smooth movement and good alignment, but sometimes that's what takes the battering if we are out of alignment in our exercises. Now, the third one to have a look at is understanding there are ligaments involved in a synovial joint. These are reinforcing ligaments, and their job is to attach the bone to the bone. So they attach bone to bone. That's what a ligament does. And they're running either side of the joint itself. And the idea here is to stop the joint from wobbling around too much, because it could be so freely movable that actually we're not able to do the things we want to, or we're able to hold with stability because our joints are wobbling around all over the place and dislocating. Instead, what these ligaments do is they stabilize the joint. They hold the joint in place and they allow us to have good purpose and rigidity in each of our actions. So you've got these three real clear understanding of the three main characteristics for synovial joints. The first was about the synovial fluid inside the joint capsule. Then we had the understanding about the articular cartilage around the outside of each bone. And then we also have the ligaments that join the bone to the bone. So now you've got these three main features. You can understand that the synovial capsule and the synovial joints are very different in format to a cartilaginous joint or to a fused joint, which doesn't have any of these. It might have ligaments, yes, but it doesn't have the ability to have that synovial capsule in the middle, which is particularly different. So you do need to know this as part of your level 2 anatomy and physiology exam. And if you're struggling with the skeletal system or anything else about your exam and your revision and preparing for it, then please do check the link that is with this video and find out more about our level 2 anatomy and physiology revision bootcamp. It's designed to help you pass your exam with confidence this time on the very next time you do it, so that you're actually like, I'm going to pass and I have the confidence in my knowledge to be able to do so. We break it down, we make it super simple, just like this video. If outside of that, make sure that you do click the link to find out the 3 mock questions and test your knowledge. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Drop a little comment below, let me know what your big takeaway has been, and if you have any further questions about synovial joints or your level 2 anatomy exam. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.